No, despite what you see on your screen, this isn't heaven. I mean, the glow is crazy today. I'm not going to lie to you. There's
It's
times
beautiful.
where you might think that, this show, Two Fans, One Pod, by the way. I'm Alex. This is Brandon. Um,
AKA Two Noses One Pod.
yeah,
Sorry,
Two
I
Nose,
just had
One
to get
Pod.
that out there.
Alex and Brandon knows football. I was thinking that the other day. That would be a fun one, right?
Ooh, a nice
Um,
little segment.
yes, like Brandon
I
knows
like that.
football.
Uh
That'd be
huh.
fun. We're gonna come up with some fun stuff for you guys. In the meantime, um, this was week 12. Week 12 has come and gone, and I don't really. There was a lot to take away here. I know that November is like the championship month.
Yep.
That's where the championship teams come out, and they really form their identity and their playoff kind of the path to the playoff, the path to the postseason, whatever you want to call it. That is pretty much fully laid out for them, and they have to follow the steps, regimentally, and they have to, and that's how they're going to get to the postseason. So you have to do what you need to do. One team that did not do what they needed to do was Alabama. Ty Simpson looked shit. I'm going to be very honest with you this game. This is the first time I can genuinely say, and I will
Yeah.
I will also
Oh,
say that
so
this
sad.
game should single-handedly take him out of the Heisman. And I listen, this sounds heated, this sounds emotional. I did have money on them. That sucks. But I mean, Alabama losing really, really felt a combination of two things. Not great play calling, for one.
Yep.
Ryan Grubb, who's
Yep.
been pretty solid this whole season, especially on game-winning drives. But this game kind of reminded me a lot of that Georgia game. Very physical game. I mean, really bad mistakes. Ty Simpson throwing his second interception of the season. I mean, it ended up going for 6. And this is not a discredit to
Yeah.
Oklahoma defense. Brett Venables is obviously one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. There's no question about that. And he's calling the plays. On
Yeah.
defense, you can tell. I mean, there's no other defensive coordinator. He is fully calling those plays on defense. So what you see is what you get, and he knows how to rattle Bama. And he did a really good job. He got to Ty Simpson many times. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. Oklahoma won against Tennessee through their defense. This is the second game in a row where they're getting defensive scores that are honestly game defining. That set the tone. They
Yep.
went up by 10 early, and that was it. Alabama was playing from behind for the rest of the game. As soon as they
Yeah.
score
Just
a
so many
touchdown,
mistakes.
yeah, they
So
would get a
many
touchdown
mistakes.
and then a muff punt that ended up,
Yep. I
and
was
then
about to say.
Mateer gets an instant red zone possession, and all he does is just go like this and runs it in. So, Alabama, this looked bad. This looked bad. Ty Simpson looked really bad. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Ty Simpson looked vulnerable. This team looked vulnerable. This is at home.
Yes.
Kalen DeBoer was, this is a ranked matchup, which he statistically does well against. This looked bad.
Yeah.
This showed this showed fault in the team. And these are the games. No, again, no discredit to Oklahoma because this is a huge, huge win for
Win.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Massive win on the road in
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa. You get a pick 6, and then
They
you
played
just
their game.
and the defense. I mean, the defense won the game. Defense won them the game. Brett
Defense won
Venables.
the game. Yeah.
Brett Venables' team will only go as far as that defense will allow them to go. That's what it's going to come down to. They out physicaled Michigan. And I know the Michigan win might not look as good, but that Michigan team is actually scary on defense. And we're going to get to that game because I have a lot to say about Michigan.
Oh. Oof.
Oklahoma held Ty Simpson under wraps. They forced turnovers. I mean, the team looked good. And you mentioned before we got on this call that John Mateer did not look good. I don't think he needed to look good. He doesn't need to.
He
With a
didn't.
defense like this, you're good. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean you hit it all on the head. Like, it was one of those games where Alabama almost like gave them the ball game. They kept on shooting themselves in the foot. They did not give themselves a chance to even be up to even put points on the board. Like the game was 3-0 for a while, and they just weren't able to do anything. That Ryan Williams muffed punt really killed them. Oklahoma, I
that
mean,
is a killer.
they took advantage.
You take the momentum to get the punt and then you muff it, and then it's an instant
Yep.
score, and you're right back to where you were. 2 possession.
It
Down by 2
was
possession.
it was more of an Alabama disaster than
It
it
looked
was an
bad.
Oklahoma masterclass. And that's no, like we're saying, that's no discredit to Oklahoma because, half of the game is getting those turnovers. The other half is executing and taking advantage of them. Oklahoma was able to do that. As sus as maybe their offense has been at times, as sus as Mateer has been at times, they did what they were supposed to do. They capitalized on those opportunities. They got that pick 6. The defense and the special teams, I mean, they stepped up. Yeah, Ty Simpson didn't look good. Ty Simpson didn't. And as much of a fan I am of Ryan Williams, he is like an insane talent. I mean, the guy's so elusive, so twitchy, such like an athletic freak. I think the technical aspect of the game, that's something he needs to work on a bit. Not saying he's bad on it, but versus a guy like Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bernard, I think, is
the best player on that team. There's no question about it. I love him.
I'm a big fan of Jeremy
Bernard. Is a beast.
But yeah, no, Ty Simpson didn't do any favors for them either, unfortunately. Yeah, it was a messy game. It was a messy game.
You didn't even have an opportunity to control the tempo of the game with your run game.
You couldn't run the ball.
I mean, they just had to ditch it anyway. That's what
I'm saying. They weren't able to because they were down the whole game. So then Oklahoma's like, all right, well, we know our run defense is good. They have a good defense. Oklahoma has a great defense, like you're saying. I'm a fan of Brent Venables. I think he's a dog. So you're telling me that he only has to focus on one aspect now? He just has to focus on beating Ty Simpson?
Yeah.
Just stopping the pass? And yeah.
I don't know. Again, not great for Bama. Down the stretch, this might be like last season. This might be, if this ends up being like a 9-3 season somehow, and they get snubbed out of the playoffs again, DeBoer is going to go right back into the hot seat, my guy.
Yeah, poor guy. I mean, honestly, I still think he's a
school to coach at. It's the toughest school. This LSU, dude, with the shit that is going down at LSU right now, and how awfully they are treating Brian Kelly and this whole are we gonna pay? Like they're trying to not pay him.
The lawsuit and everything.
If I'm a coach looking at that, I'm like, I don't want to go work for that school. They don't take care of their own. Absolutely not.
No.
So I don't know. Gonna be interesting to see how this season plays out. Bama. Does Bama win out? Do we have that schedule? Can we check that?
Pull it up real quickly.
I see Eastern Illinois. That's gonna be a tough one. They're hosting Eastern Illinois at home. That's a tough one. Deep in November. Are we kidding ourselves? Can we fix the? Are you kidding me right now? On the 22nd of November, you're gonna play Eastern Illinois at home. Okay, understood. Auburn. The Iron Bowl.
Yeah, that's the last one.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they play like this, they're going to lose that game. But I know how.
This is worrisome too. I mean, because you can't count out LSU, so I'll say that. So it's not like they could use that LSU week to prep for Oklahoma. But I mean, after that, you got all the. That should be the hyper focus is Oklahoma. Now, granted, Oklahoma was coming off of a bye, so they did have more time to prep for that game, I guess. Damn.
I don't know. To be honest with you, Auburn also, now that they have fired their head coach, and then now that I've put trust into that backup quarterback, what's his name? Ashton Daniels, I believe. Ashton Daniels, who's significantly better. And the Auburn defense, if they want to show up, they can show up. That game is going to be a little bit spicier than we might think.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So Iron Bowl, looking forward to that. Bama, I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Let's go to another SEC matchup that was... Really, there was no shadow of a doubt here. And I knew it, and I'm stupid because the Georgia line went all the way down to like 4.5, 3.5 come game time. And I ended up just taking the money line. I was too scared. And it was very scared play. But obviously, we look at the score. I mean, they really, really took care of this Texas team. Here's what I'm going to say. Arch Manning, I think you stay in school one more year, buddy. I think you take. Listen. There were some really bad throws, but there were some really crazy throws too. There was one to Wingo on a third down, above the safety who was playing up close, out of the reach, perfect. I mean, a dime, and Wingo made the freaking crazy, catch, gets the first down, but stuff like that. I was like, I think that's what they were hyped about. So I see glimmers. He needs to stay in school. Just stay in school another year. I think you'll develop more because I saw some flashes. And the first time you'll hear me talk positively about this guy all season.
This is true. I haven't heard you say anything good yet.
Some very small flashes. I was actually very impressed with some of the throws, especially in Athens. That's what made it most impressive. It's a night game in Athens. So the score line is, in fact, indicative of how this game went. Georgia had... I want to just recount this one thing that happened in the game because this kind of was a microcosm of the game itself. Georgia scores a touchdown in the third quarter. It goes up 21-10. They go up 21-10. Their decision and whatever they saw in the film room, whatever they saw that they wanted to run, it clearly was the right decision. But going for an onside kick that late in
Yep.
the game, up by 11, and knowing that they'll get it,
Insane.
you basically are like, Texas can have the ball. They're never going
Yeah.
to score 6. They can have it.
They're like, let's just
They're not gonna score
really
them.
have a dominant win here, and that
Yeah.
was awesome to see. Kirby was so hyped.
Yeah,
when
he was
got that
emotional.
big
You don't
back.
get to see that, but
He
he's
was-
throughout the season he's been getting more and more emotional on the sideline. But it's a good way. I like it. I'm very happy for
Oh
Georgia.
no, I love that.
We were
Yeah.
both on this, right? Were you riding Texas?
I was saying
okay.
Texas spread.
I mean, the
I'm a dummy.
Georgia for me, it looked like a solid play, and that's only because of what I saw last year. Sark did not get nearly as emotional as he got last year in these games, but I don't know. The team kind of got deflated at some point. Once the onside kick happened, it was just done. Mentally, that team
Yeah.
Texas is like, oh damn, we got to come back out on defense again. Unfortunate.
One thing I
Unfortunate.
want to say, Gunnar Stockton, what a performance! I mean, he played his
No, of
game
course, great.
to the best of his ability.
Zachariah
Now-
Branch also is a stud.
Zachariah Branch is a dog, man. I'm so happy he went to Georgia. That was a great move for him.
Yeah.
But is it time for us to maybe start throwing Gunnar in these Heisman convos?
Well, let's wait.
5
Let's wait.
touchdowns on the ground and in the air.
I
Like,
know.
it's late
Let's
in the
wait
season.
because
I know it's late
he's
in the season,
there has been
but-
games that he has actually single-handedly been able to carry. That game
Yeah,
against
that's what I'm
Tennessee,
saying.
that game against Tennessee, it lives in my memory. That he strong-armed that game. He had like 400 something. I think it was 300 plus passing minimum. But dude was playing lights out. He made great decisions here. That offense, Mike Bobo, that offense he's running, he knows. This is the difference, bro. This is the difference between Aiden Kotelnicki, who thinks that he has Jalen Daniels with freaking Drew Aller, and he's like, yeah, let me run 14 power reads with my quarterback, with my 6'7" quarterback. And then you have a guy like Mike Bobo, and he puts Zachariah Branch in motion on a run when that guy already has a little bit of speed on him, and if you can get him to the ball when he's got a little bit of, he is gone. He will make the play. So Mike Bobo knows the talent he has on offense, and he does well with it. So I'm impressed with the Georgia play calling, as always. Gunnar Stockton, definitely, but the problem is that there's been too many dominant players playing all season dominantly. Gunnar Stockton is there too. We'll give him that, but the first few games of the season, he wasn't playing very well. I don't know if you remember, and they had less than stellar competition.
It was a slow
so
start.
It was a
Yes,
very,
yes,
very
yes.
slow start for him. Anyway, proud of them. Also, Florida at Ole Miss. This game was really
What a game.
interesting.
Weird.
I don't even want to talk about the game. I don't even really want to talk about the game. I want to talk about Lane Kiffin's future here, from the ramifications of this game. He had a comeback. He had a spectacular comeback against a really good Florida team, talent-wise. Performance-wise, awful. I mean, Lagway he did look, I'm going to be honest with you, he had 2 or 3 good throws. There was that one deep post throw that he had that was a touchdown. Absolutely.
You talking about where the guy just had the man beat?
Yeah, but it was a gorgeous
Yeah, I mean,
throw.
that was, come on.
It
It
was
was a gorgeous throw.
on the money.
But yeah, it
Dude,
was on the money.
50-yard throws, I mean, that is like a tough throw on the road to do. Like,
That's true.
I really, it just looked gorgeous. And that's what you get out of DJ Lagway. You'll get 2 or 3 really pretty throws. You'll get 2 or 3 really fun scrambles that get him a first down on 3rd and medium. But really, that's what you're going to get out of Lagway. There needs to be someone to develop this kid. Put him into a system. He's going to transfer. There's no question about it. Where does he go in the offseason? I don't know.
If Lane goes, does he transfer still? Because it sounds like you're saying that you think Lane should go over there and develop him. Is that what you're...
That is the ideal scenario. That is the ideal scenario. I don't know what happens next year. Lane is all about creating a roster through the portal now. That's obvious. So he could potentially bring Lagway to Ole Miss and do away with Simmons and do away with Chambliss. Think about how much money Chambliss is going to ask for next year. I mean, he was a backup, and if he takes him to the playoffs, he'll just use that to like try to finesse more money. I mean, if you don't want to pay the kid out, maybe DJ Lagway you could definitely get right now at a discount, I would say. As far as like what you need to offer him in the NIL package. He doesn't stay there. He definitely stays in the SEC. My projection was originally Georgia, but I mean, he needs someone to develop him. And Lane might be the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I like that. this game was interesting. It was kind of one of those games where it was similar to the Bama Oklahoma game, at least in the first half, in the beginning of the game, where it was just like
It was a very
Ole
physical.
Miss.
So
Yeah, it was a
physical.
physical game. Ole Miss was moving the ball, but they really weren't able to get in the end zone. I know that Chambliss threw that one pick, and then Florida got it in the red zone. Florida's touchdowns came off. It was like there was that big play that they had, the deep post route, and then they also had, like I said, the pick where they got it in Ole Miss territory. But then after that, yeah, Ole Miss kind of just came out firing. And then I was listening to Lane Kiffin's presser afterwards. He handled it really well. All the questions about Florida were there, but he was just basically talking about how it's unfair to even make that kind of assumption, or unfair to even give any of those jobs any thought in this current time because of how good the team is performing right now. All the players on that team are just doing really well, and they have a spot to really make some noise in the playoffs, I think. So I'm really interested to see what happens too. The more and more time that goes by, though, I will say I'm starting to kind of feel the sense that he's more and more willing to stay at Ole Miss. Because like you said earlier when we first started the pod, who the hell would want that LSU job with what's going on right now? The governor's saying all that shit. There's a lawsuit going on between Brian Kelly and the school. They're not trying to pay him out.
What about Florida? You don't see him going to Florida at all?
Florida. So that's what I was going to say. If there was one school that
Florida
I could see going to.
They have experience in championships.
And the stadium and the atmosphere and the aura and the poll and all that. I 100% agree with you. So I think depending on how well Ole Miss closes out this season, we'll see what happens. I'm not saying Ole Miss wins a natty ship, but depending on how deep they go in the playoffs, I could see Lane say if they lose in the semis or whatever, I could see him saying like, "Yo, I'm finishing what I started here." I believe his kids, not to talk about the fam or whatever, but I think his daughter's graduating, so maybe that will kind of allow him to have and won't because she was at Ole Miss, so maybe her leaving will allow him to kind of have more freedom in his decision. And then I believe his son, I don't think he's going into college next year, but maybe one more year. So yeah, I think that'll he won't have too much of a family commitment maybe in the area. Maybe that influences his decision as well. Dude, that guy is just, who knows with Lane Kiffin, that's one of the things that makes him so special. So I'm excited to see what he does, whether he goes to, I think the two best options for him are Ole Miss and Florida. All the talk about him going to the Giants, I understand it, because Dart's there and all that, but realistically, I think he's really comfortable where he's at right now. I think he's grown a lot. I think he loves college football, man. He knows he's good for college football, and college football is good for him. We need Lane.
Yeah, I like college football to keep Lane in its ecosystem just because it's better for headlines. I think he's a good coach. I think as far as what you're able to accomplish with your team, the legacy you can create, the narrative you can control, it's very different between college and the NFL. I mean,
exactly.
In the NFL, for example, what is the first thing people ask when you talk about a team that won a Super Bowl? From my experience, people always ask, who's the quarterback? They don't really care about the coaching. The defense could be elite, but really their first question is always, who was the quarterback for the game that won the quarterback, that won the Super Bowl. And college is not like that. You don't remember who the quarterback was for any of these teams, unless you're a diehard viewer.
No disrespect to Trinidad Chambliss. I think there will be more of a story around him because of the D2 thing and all that. But we think of Ole Miss, we think of Lane Kiffin. You know what I mean? Of course. Chambliss has definitely made a name for himself, but even in the previous years, the previous years that Lane Kiffin's been coaching them, I don't think of Matt Corral when I think of Ole Miss. You know what I mean? I don't think about those guys. Dar obviously made a name for himself over there.
What a throwback name.
You like that poll? But wow. He had some success there for sure. He definitely had some success there, but yeah, it's Lane Kiffin's team.
Yeah. Interesting to see how that played out. Let's head to the Big Ten. Two big games. What's a big game nowadays?
That's a great question. Feels like they're almost just so many games are unpredictable now.
Michigan and Northwestern. You start. Tell me what you saw.
The first half was, they looked good. Michigan was moving the ball. The Dominic Savada, he missed 2 field goals early on, so that was tough for them because they were driving the ball down the field.
One was a 60-yarder, by the way. So
yeah, exactly.
It's not
it's not the end of the world. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that first half I thought was a strong showing. And and then things started kind of get messy in the second half. Bryce Underwood looked good, throwing the ball, making the reads in the first half. Andrew Marsh, I mean, held it down.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was making plays left and right. They're one of the youngest teams in the Big Ten, and it definitely shows.
How many
Jordan
catches did he
Marshall was
end up
able to
with?
produce
It
on the
was
ground.
like 16,
12,
17.
I think, 13.
No, dude,
like,
he
yeah,
was
even more. It
a
was
crazy,
insane.
crazy amount of catches.
I think he
Absurd amount
had
of
12
yards.
going into the fourth quarter, and I think you're right. He ended it with like 14, 15, because he had like that really clutch catch at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That they had to review, and he was in bounds. He's so promising, man. I love the fact that they got a guy like that over there for Bryce. But yeah, I mean, Michigan started playing sloppy though.
No, you're right.
And then unfortunately,
it was 12 for 189. Yeah, I mean, he had a day.
Insane. Jordan Marshall went down, so that was a bummer. And that happened, I believe, after Bryce's first interception. The thing about those plays, both of them, it seemed like there was the first interception, he was anticipating more of a man coverage. It was like that play action, and then boom, the quick read. And when I was watching this game, it seemed like those were the plays that they should have maybe stayed more away from. I don't know if that's the right, he seems more comfortable when he drops back and actually is able to make a couple reads and deliver the ball versus the quick play action, one read throw. And Northwestern was able to capitalize on that. That first one, it looked like he thought they were in a man coverage. Then the linebacker came over and, picked it off, because there was only one guy on I want to say it was Andrew Marshall who was throwing the ball to. I may be wrong, but there was one guy on him, and I don't think he was expecting the other linebacker to come and jump the ball. So there was that. And then there was the other pick. Literally looked identical. It was tough. Those were tough to watch. And then the walk on, there was a fumble. They mishandled the snap. That was bad too. It was a scary second half for sure. It did not look good. But we were able to pull it off. Andrew Marsh, really, that was the highlight of the game. The Michigan defense also stepped up, made some plays for sure. Because Northwestern was definitely able to put some points on the board, but I think it was because of how stagnant Michigan's offense was and the missed opportunities they had and the turnovers. But yeah, and then Dominic Savato was able to seal the game, which was great. But that wasn't a pretty victory. And I said going into this game, Northwestern is good against one-dimensional teams. The reason why they struggled against USC was because USC can do it in the air and on the ground, and the play calling at USC is tremendous. Michigan, not their identity. Run the ball, they're a run-heavy thing, just like who else? Penn State. So I just had a feeling going into this game that it was going to be very similar to the Penn State game. I did think Michigan was going to win, but I felt like it was going to be a sloppy, messy win, which it did turn out to be. The future is bright for Michigan, 100%. They got some young guys out there. Jordan Marshall, I believe, is a sophomore. Hopefully he comes back. I'm not too sure of how intense the injury is. I know Justice Haynes is out for the remainder of the year. If Jordan Marshall is also out for multiple games, I could see them. I could see this Maryland game we're going to. It could be a really interesting game.
It should be a fun game to watch.
It should be. I'm excited for us to go to that one. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think we need to clean some things up on the play calling side of things. And Bryce Underwood just needs to continue to develop. But the defense looks good. There's some promise as far as the young players go. Shout out to Andrew Marsh, dude. That kid's a dog.
I tell you what, this team, what I saw here was the first instance of an 18-year-old on the road under pressure and trying to force things to make it happen. I mean, he had. Yeah. I'm telling you, he had this excellent sidearm RPO. It was the same exact read. It was that peak. It's that peak read where you got that slant.
Was it to Marsh?
It was to Marsh. And he had the safety.
And
great. Earlier in the game, the safety, I mean, dude, everyone knows if the safety crashes the box, you stop, and he wants to stop the run, you pass it. If the safety sits there, you don't pass the ball. And he really tried, and the window was impossible. And he really tried to force it, but he had done it earlier in the game. I saw he had hit this. He'd zipped a sidearm RPO, perfect throw.
He's got some zip.
It was not a great read, but it was a perfect throw, so it didn't matter. And I think he tried to force it again too. So I see an 18-year-old making bad decisions on the field. Michigan they were up by 11. They were up by 11 in the late in the third. They were up basically in the fourth. They were up 11, and then the decision making by Bryce Underwood allowed Northwestern to come back in. Actually, they were down. They had to have a game-winning drive by Bryce Underwood, and thank God he delivered. There was a crazy, crazy sideline catch. I don't remember if
Marsh,
was it Marsh?
I believe so.
Crazy
That went to the booth review, right?
3rd and 10. Yeah, went to booth
Yeah,
review.
yeah.
I mean,
Super clutch.
Unbelievable catch. Crazy athletic ability by this entire team. And they forced the win. And that's something that Penn State couldn't do. Penn State couldn't force the win the way that Michigan did. They out-physicaled for the win. Interesting how the next couple of weeks will be set up for Michigan. I know that they close out the season with Ohio State, but that one middle game, it might be, a look-past game. It could be that, because Maryland is such in the gutter right now, they might look past it, and they might be looking at that Ohio State game, and all of a sudden they could very easily lose this game. Maryland's defense is really good.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We'll cover that.
Oh, my God. I can't wait for that game.
Yeah. Unlucky. I was on the Michigan spread side. So another game that I was on the wrong side for, Iowa at USC. This game, everyone told me the same thing. Iowa's going to win this. And Iowa's going to win this. They're going to out-physical USC. I saw what other people were saying with USC. Their offense is so prolific and they're so dynamic. Running, passing, it doesn't matter. But really, they just struggled this game. It was pouring rain. It was an Iowa game. It had Iowa written all over it. They're like, okay, the weather's ass. We'll play good enough pass defense, and we'll play physical enough on the front seven that we're going to force some stops. And that's exactly what happened. And they took care of business. Iowa did, especially in that first quarter. I mean, they really they dominated the first quarter. I thought USC was going to lose. Now, I did double down the same way I did on Michigan. I took their money line when they both went plus. So I basically went even on both of these games. But this game was really scary for Iowa. A couple of really errant throws early in the game. Just generally was not a fan of how this game played out for USC. I think they finessed a win, and that's just because Iowa they couldn't really muster anything on offense, come to the second half. But this was a scary win for sure.
It was.
What do you think? Let me ask you before you dive into this game. I mean, Iowa loses another ranked game here. They're 6-4 right now. They're 4-3 in the Big Ten, and they were ranked 21st in the country last year. First of all, I just want to say that this is going to be at the very most another 8-4 Iowa season. I mean, dude, even let's be very frank with each other. Their first touchdown on the 4th and goal was like a absolute fluke play. Crazy catch by that tight end. I don't remember. So
that was insane.
It was an insane catch. So
yeah,
Iowa really, I think I'm putting them right back where they belong. Mediocre. They're going right back into the mediocre. And it's going to be another 8-4 at very best this year. Will be an 8-4 season, and you'll be marked with a couple of big wins against teams that are like sub 500. As we look at them now towards the end of the season. So,
yeah. Iowa's got Michigan State left. They got Nebraska left. It sucks for Iowa because, I mean, there was just some tough losses back-to-back, Oregon and USC. So I don't want to call them mediocre yet, but I will say that they're not a team that can get the job done offensively, unfortunately. They're a physical team, man. Even the game against Indiana, one-score game. Iowa State once, all their losses have been one-score games. It's insane. So I think that if they're able to figure out the offense somehow, some way, next season, then they should make some noise. I mean, the possibility is there. The defense is always stout. They're a physical team. I think they just need to find a way maybe to get the right quarterback in there, maybe find a new play caller. But yeah, it was a tough one for Iowa because they did come out swinging in the first half. But then Mekhi Lemon, I mean, that guy, is so good. I think he's the best receiver in the league right now. I mean, he's the complete package.
You can make
He's made spectacular catches. He's so elusive. In the open space, he's so hard to stop. He's a tough guy too. He's always fighting for extra yards. I'm a big fan, big fan of Mekhi Lemon. And then King Miller also had a good day too. Last pod, I do apologize. I called him King Mac, confused him with the safety. King Miller though, he did have a good game. 19 for 83, I believe. Yeah. So it was a back and forth game. USC's defense wasn't as promising as I thought they would be. Not that I expect a lot from them, but against the offense in Iowa that's kind of more stagnant so far this year. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Iowa put up a better fight than Michigan. We both can agree on that. So we'll see. We'll see how
Makai
the rest of the
Lemon,
season does go for USC. But yeah, Makai Lemon is.
he's a stud. He's a stud. I probably have Nick Harbor as my favorite wide receiver, and
Specimen.
I mean that he had another monster game against a very excellent defense, by the way. So he'll still be a top 10 pick in the NFL, right? I mean, with
Nick Harbor?
with his frame, his size, his speed,
He'll be a first rounder.
He'll be
for sure.
I mean, you could argue that he should be in top 10 conversation.
He's a little bit raw,
yeah.
but no, he's
Dude,
a
he's
dog,
scary.
and he's from DC.
And he's 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4" track star.
Yeah,
he's like
track
the
star.
fastest guy at that size. Like it's unbelievable.
It's on the way he runs.
Yeah,
good wide
he's a
receiver
dog.
class upcoming, by the way. This wide receiver class is pretty crazy.
Jordan Tyson, Makai, I think
Yep.
Elijah Surratt.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait for the draft.
Okay, fake ACC highlight, Notre Dame at Pitt. I don't think were you on? Oh, that's right, you were on Pitt. You said you were feeding into the narrative. Here's the problem. First of all, I told you. Second of all, the reason why I saw that was because I've seen this before. I've seen Notre Dame. I've seen Pitt. When Pitt is hyped up, they play shit.
That's when it's smelly. Yeah.
When they are hyped up as like, and this was a top 25 matchup. This does not feel like a top 25 matchup. Notre Dame is a real top 25 team, and Pitt is kind of just a little bit of a, and that's okay because Mason Heischel is a freshman.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Guys, he's gonna get better. Don't worry.
He looked like a freshman.
Yeah. Some really bad. I mean, even when they got that turnover deep inside the 10, inside the plus 10, they still couldn't get the touchdown. They just couldn't do it.
No.
I mean, how many fourth down stops did they have?
One of their only touchdowns came off of that pick six. That was like there in their own territory. Like it was tough for Pitt for sure. It was a tough one. And then Jeremiah Love with that breakaway run. Good God.
No, he's
like that.
Jeremiah Love is so good, man. He's scary.
So good.
He's a scary runner.
So good. Yeah. And then CJ Carr had that deep ball to I'm blanking out on his name, but number 0, the receiver, just made a beautiful.
Oh my God, that back shoulder. Right at the sticks,
Notre Dame. They heard me. They heard what I said, and I think they just wanted to just shut me up.
No,
they listened
look
to the
good.
pod for sure.
No, they look good. They looked really good. Notre Dame is an excellent team. They are a playoff team. I think they developed.
Yeah.
People will look at the Miami loss and they'll be like, "Oh, Miami's a better team." If Notre Dame goes to shut the hell up, dude. Shut the hell up. You and I both know the team that you saw in September and this team that we're looking at in November in Miami is very, very
nothing
different.
the same.
And Notre Dame is also very different too. They have developed significantly, especially on offense. The run game is like fully online. Be scared. Everyone should be scared of Notre Dame. Especially all they have to do is win out and they make the playoffs. And their schedule is like whatever, right? Who does Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Do we know who they have left?
No. They have Notre Dame the rest of the season. Let me pull it up. I know Pitt has a tougher schedule, but they have. Yeah, they just got to win out. They got Syracuse and Stanford. Yeah, Notre Dame's in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. Congratulations, Notre Dame. Okay, real quick, highlighting some Big 12 matchups. I want to talk about Texas Tech really quick. I want to talk about Texas Tech because we didn't talk about it on the pod, but here we are another week where they covered. Ask me if I took them.
Wagon.
Of course I took them. I'm not stupid.
You did.
I put my money on that team every single week. 48-9. Joey Rodriguez with another interception. Give this kid the Heisman. At least give him a trip to New York.
I think
they let him have
a
a rushing touchdown. They gave him a rushing touchdown too. I mean, the head coach. What's his name? I always forget Texas Tech's.
Texas Tech's head coach. Let me check because we don't want to.
He said in the post game interview,
Joey McGuire. And
he said right next to he had Rodriguez right next to him, and he has that little stash and the chin line, and he was just like sitting like a nice little happy son with a great performance, smile, so funny. I love that kid, man. I really hope. I mean, he's up for the butt kiss. I fully deserves it. And I think he should at least deserve some semblance of Heisman acknowledgement. I don't know what that means.
I mean, when you look at it, like I can't think. Okay, the last time, just off the top of my head, a team this good was a team this good. Last time, the face of a team that was this good was a defensive player, was Manti Te'o, and he was in New York.
He finished third, right?
When I think of Texas Tech, Jacob Rodriguez is the first guy I think of.
Of course, should be. It's not Baron
First
Morton.
guy I think of. So I think, and they're a top, they're a top 10, top 5 team.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about that, like, come on, the guy at least deserves some sort of consideration. I do think he deserves a trip to New York. Yeah, I mean, he's defensive player. He's the face of a top 5 team. Come on.
It's a
What are you
scary
talking
team.
about here?
This team is a scary team. I took them on October 11th to win the national championship.
Dude,
You guys
so
better
good.
hurry up and get it while it's still ripe. This team is going to make a run. They're going to make a deep run too. I'm telling you right now. That defense is scary. Real quick, just wanted to touch on that. UCF, sorry, Scott Frost. Happy you're back home, but not looking good for you.
Listen to this real quick.
Yeah.
Jacob Rodriguez has 4 picks
Yep.
this year.
Yep.
He has 7 forced fumbles.
Yep.
This is insane. He has a fumble recovery for a touchdown. I mean, 100 combined tackles, 55 of them being
They
solo.
gave him a rushing
dog.
touchdown. They gave him a goal line carry and he got a touchdown too. So
Oh, that's sick.
yeah,
That's
they
sick.
want
Let's
him.
go.
They want him to have. And dude, Mahomes is going to every single game. By the way, like,
Yeah.
this is a different feel of a team, bro. This is like one. This is, you guys ever seen Great Expectations? When like a wealthy benefactor comes in and he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna everything I'm about to do is. Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for this team. I'm going to keep writing. I'm telling you guys, take Texas Tech every week. Blindly. Do not worry about
Please.
it. Blindly take them. At least for the pod. Arizona at Cincinnati. I loved watching this game. Noah Fafita is the definition of inconsistent. This guy will play absolutely lights out one week and absolutely dog shit the next. I think Arizona looks crisp on offense when Noah Fafita can play outside the pocket and given a little bit more time to let like plays break and find people open. I think that's where Noah Fafita shines because he's excellent at throwing on the run, and he looked really, really good this game on some of his throws. On third down and long too. So granted, it was Cincinnati defense, so let's not lose our shit too much. But this was a really good showing by Arizona. This was the Arizona. Aren't they 7-2 now? Aren't they like 7-3 or something? The team has a decent record, and they have
Arizona's 6-3.
6-3, and they have one of the best defenses in the country, arguably a top 15 defense in the country, and it showed again. They held Brandon Sorsby to 73 yards passing for 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters.
Wow. Yeah, wow. No, this game, yeah. I wasn't able to tune into this game, but
I was
yeah,
excited.
Just going through it
This
right
was
now,
my
it
super dog of the week. Arizona was my super dog of the week. I had them highlighted. Another super dog I had was TCU at BYU to cover the plus 3.5. Huh?
I know.
How's that for a winner?
I know. BYU came out. They were pissed off.
BYU was angry.
Slapped around in Texas
I
Tech.
thought they were gonna come like with a little bit of a hangover, and they were gonna lose
Oh,
again.
no.
Because this happened last year too. BYU started so hot last year, and they kind of crumbled towards the end of the season.
They
But
were
no-
like undefeated up until like literally this point last year, right? Yeah.
No, but what it is, all that I learned from this game, I fell asleep for it. I apologize, guys, but the late stuff is really tough for me. But all I learned this game was that Texas Tech is legit, because Texas Tech absolutely hosed BYU, and this league, the Big 12, is literally everyone else, and then Texas Tech up here. Everyone else, you guys can fight for a second. Doesn't matter. Oh, is it going to be Utah coming? Okay, cool. We'll beat you again. Oh, is it going to be BYU coming? Okay, cool. We'll beat you again. That Big 12 championship, guys, they're like at a little less than minus 300 right now to win the Big 12 championship. So get it while it's hot, I guess. It's a little late. All right, talk to me. What games did we miss?
A&M South Carolina.
Ugh. We talked very briefly. Nick Harbor. Oh my God. I cannot talk enough about how good this guy is. With his frame and his size, to move with the speed that he has is absolutely disgusting. Him and Trades Green are two of my like freak shows in the league. I think both of them are just absurdly athletic for their size. I'm worried that Shane Beamer might not have a job at the end of the year.
I know.
And there is no discredit to Texas A&M, but like, I'm just gonna say the same thing I said about Texas when they beat Mississippi State when they were down by 3 scores in the fourth or whatever. Like, okay, cool, congratulations. You were 3 possession favorites this game and you won. I understand it's really tough to win in November. It's tough to win in the SEC. There is NFL talent on that South Carolina team, but dude,
There is.
let us not hype this win up too much. This dude,
No.
Marcel Reed looked really bad in the first half. And there has been points in the season where he looked really bad too. Even in that LSU game in the first half, they just happen to have an excellent second half team. That defense, they know when to pressure when it's appropriate. But poor Shane Beamer, unfortunately, I like him as a coach actually when it comes to like how he riles up his team and like gets them fired up and stuff. You can tell that he has an intimate relationship with these kids, but I can't I don't know. I can't see a world where this guy has a job at the end of this year. It's tough. He's been there for so long. Maybe they do. Maybe they keep. Who else is out there that's better that South Carolina can afford? I don't know. It's just difficult. It's so difficult for me to look at his role and be like, it's not going to be limited in some way, shape, or form moving forward.
Yeah. Marcel Reed, yeah, I mean, he had it was like you were saying, South Carolina played a pretty much like perfect game in the first half. Lenore Sellers looked great. The South Carolina defensive line applied pressure all throughout the first half. And then I believe Marcel Reed.
Did you see that 80-yard catch and run by Nick Harbor where the cop ended up bumping into him all the way back in?
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not trying to discredit, I know he was probably doing his job and all that, but
no, he had A&M minus 17 and a half, 100%.
Yeah,
bro.
come on. What are we doing, man? It was one of those moments where I was like, just get out the way.
Let's
come
move
on,
along,
dude.
guys.
But yeah, and then Marcel Reed, he had 2 picks at like within I think the last minute and a half of the first half, and both of them I believe went to the same DB. One of them was like kind of an underthrown ball in the end zone. And then the second one was just kind of a bad throw, I believe. And they were able to get 10 points off of that. 7 points off the first one, 3 points off the second one. It was insane. Shane Beamer was hyped up, as he should be, man. You guys are up 30 to 30 to 0 against 30 to 3 against
number 3 team in the country.
Might be the best team in the country. People were calling them the best team in the country. It was between them and Ohio State, know, and I think we both agree that Texas A&M has played tougher competition than Ohio State up to this point.
Absolutely.
So there was that, and then Texas A&M just came out firing in that second half. And I think this goes back. I've been saying this on the pod, man. Texas A&M is not a first half team. Even when they're winning, it's such a slow start. The Mississippi State game, the LSU game, even though they were winning, it was a slow start. And then that second half, I don't know what they got going on in that locker room. Like, I'm very curious because second half they go ballistic.
Yeah,
they went bananas.
You can't really make adjustments like that. You can't. Like at halftime, you tell me in 20 minutes they're going to find a brand new offensive scheme to be able to get points. No. What happened was they reset their mental. Marcel Reed started playing lights out again, and then also the defense showed up. Dude, there was I don't know if you remember this, but there was that possession where they did like they try to do some trick play on their own, whatever, in their own territory, like deep in their own territory. Texas A&M. I don't know. It's just like, dude, some of the decision making, it just didn't.
Decision making was weird.
Was weird. This game was just, it had one of those weird, and it might just be because it's November and the SEC, and that's what's going on. But I don't know. I thought that both Mike Elko and Shane Beamer didn't have their best game. I don't think either one had their best game. Excuse me.
The Texas A&M linebacker, that's another guy who I don't think he'll win. I do think Rodriguez was won the Butkus Award, but I do think he could be a finalist. Torian York, I believe his first name is Torian, but yeah, it is Torian York. I mean, he's an incredible linebacker. He's all over the field. He's so fast. He had a huge tackle for a loss in the second half, I believe, and definitely, there's some guys on the Texas A&M defensive side of the ball too. So it was just a Texas A&M game, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. I was reading that it was like the biggest comeback in Texas A&M history.
A&M history,
yada, yada, yada. Congratulations, yes. But really, truly, this was like, this game could have still been won by the Gamecocks, and it obviously could have been won by A&M. And it just so happened that A&M did more in the second half, and that's what championship teams are made of. I understand that. What does this mean? What does this mean for A&M? Does this affect them in the playoff position at all? Do you think do you think any differently of this team? Still put up 500 yards.
To be honest, I do agree with you. Mike Elko definitely had a poor performance in the Texas A&M team as a whole. They were rattled in the first half, but I think it's more so a credit to that South Carolina team. I mean, they were firing on all cylinders. Everything was going their way from the defensive side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball. So there was that, and I think, I mean, you do have to give credit to the fact that they came back 30-3 and won the game. I mean, that's got to deserve something. You know what I mean? Regardless of how bad that first half was, but that's showing in the second half to battle through that. That was huge. It was huge.
Yeah. Big congratulations to Mike Elko and his program, I guess. Again, 17.5-point favorites at home. I would hope to God you win against a 1-7 SEC South Carolina team. Thank you very much. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Week 12 in the books. We'll be back for week 13. We're going to do something fun and spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Please be
go blue
for that. Yeah, go blue, go Terps, whatever you are this weekend. But we'll give you some footage of our experience, okay? In the meantime,
it's going to be a battle.
Definitely please like, comment, and subscribe for us. Also, definitely follow us in any way, shape, or form that you find convenient to you. We're on almost every platform. 2 fans, 1 pod. Yeah.
People like the reels, man. A bunch of our buddies, they're always telling us, if they can't watch the video, they'll tune into the reels, get a good idea of what's going on. I know a lot of people, they don't follow the college game too much. They like the NFL game, which is totally understandable. But, if you are interested, feel free to give us a follow. The reels will fill you in quick. You'll get a quick update, quick summary of what's going on this weekend and that sort of thing. So, these guys are going to play on Sunday, a lot of these guys. So you should definitely tune in.
That's a very good point. You get a preview. You get a preview of what they're going to look like when you're going to watch them in a couple of years.
Yep.
Okay.
Mackay Lemon will be a Washington Commander. All right. Yeah, we love you guys.
You wish. Love you guys. Until next time.